A 15-hour drive sounds like a simple number until it suddenly becomes the distance between one chapter of life and the next. Somewhere between packed suitcases, restless kids, gas station stops, and endless stretches of highway, Katie Bates and Travis Clark appear to have crossed an invisible line. For months, followers have watched them hint at change without fully explaining it, turning every update into a guessing game. Now, after the road trip is over and the moving boxes have apparently reached their destination, the conversation has shifted from where they might be going to what this move could mean for the future. At the same time, on a completely different corner of the Bates universe, Kaybrie Bates reminded everyone that not every update needs a major life event attached to it. Sometimes a quiet day with friends, a glimpse of an ordinary routine, and a few moments away from the spotlight can end up revealing just as much about where someone is in life. For Katie, the latest post felt less like an announcement and more like the final scene of a journey that viewers have been watching in pieces. The caption was remarkably simple, referring to the journey to their new home and sharing a collection of memories captured along the way. Yet simplicity only seemed to fuel curiosity. Followers immediately began scanning every detail, trying to determine where exactly the family had landed after their now famous 15-hour drive. The interesting thing is that the comments weren't dominated by excitement over furniture, houses, or neighborhoods. Instead, the strongest theme was emotion. Many followers seemed genuinely invested in what this move represents for Katie and Travis. The responses read almost like letters from people sending a family off on a new adventure. There were prayers, congratulations, wishes for peace, hopes for happiness, and countless comments about fresh starts and new beginnings. The move has become bigger than geography. For many viewers, it represents growth. Of course, the mystery surrounding the destination remains alive. Even after arriving, followers continued debating whether Texas was the answer. Some pointed to the original 15-hour clue. Others noted previous travel patterns. A few joked that the couple would never reveal the location because the suspense itself has become part of the story. What's fascinating is how long this speculation has lasted. Most influencers announce a move and immediately share the destination. Katie and Travis have somehow managed to turn the location itself into an ongoing narrative. At the same time, not everyone was focused on maps and mileage. Some followers noticed something else entirely. Several comments reflected on how much Katie seemed to be glowing throughout the journey. Others talked about seeing the affection between Katie and Travis in the photos and videos. For those viewers, the destination almost seemed secondary. What stood out was the image of a young family taking a leap together. There was also an undercurrent of concern that revealed how attached many followers have become to Katie's story. One commenter expressed hope that she had not moved too far from her parents, while others admitted they would miss having her close to Tennessee. Those reactions weren't critical. They felt more like the sentiments of people watching someone leave their hometown. Whether followers know her personally or not, many seem to view Katie's move through the lens of a daughter starting a new chapter further away from home. What may be most revealing about the reaction is that the conversation has evolved far beyond the original logistics. The question is no longer simply where Katie moved. Instead, followers seem increasingly interested in who Katie becomes after the move. A new city creates new routines. New routines create new friendships, opportunities, traditions, and experiences. The road trip may be over, but for many viewers it feels like the beginning rather than the conclusion of the story. While Katie's update revolved around change, Kaybrie's latest post stood out because of how refreshingly unchanged it felt. There were no moving trucks, no major announcements, no dramatic reveals, just a glimpse into a day off spent with college friends who happened to be visiting town. Yet, that simplicity ended up becoming the entire appeal. The caption described the post as a glimpse into her Tuesday. And that's exactly what followers received. Rather than presenting a carefully crafted milestone, Kaybrie offered something closer to a diary entry. Viewers saw pieces of everyday life unfold naturally, friends spending time together, familiar routines, small moments that probably felt ordinary while they were happening, but became meaningful once shared online. The response highlighted something interesting about Kaybrie's growing presence. Followers weren't necessarily reacting to a specific activity. They were reacting to the overall feeling of the post. Many comments focused on how fun everything looked, how enjoyable the day seemed, and how much they liked seeing this side of her life. The word cute appeared repeatedly throughout the comment section, almost becoming the unofficial theme of the entire post. What stood out most was how many people focused on details that had nothing to do with the actual outing. Multiple followers commented on her bedroom setup and decor. Others mentioned the cozy atmosphere of her space. In a way, viewers weren't simply watching a day with friends. They were observing the environment Kaybrie has built around herself. That reaction says a lot about where she currently fits within the broader Bates audience. Unlike some family members whose content centers on marriage, parenting, or major life milestones, Kaybrie is in a stage that many younger followers find relatable. She's balancing work. She's attending school. She's maintaining friendships. She's creating a life that feels independent while still connected to her family. One comment specifically praised her for continuing to work while pursuing her education. Although brief, that sentiment captured something that appeared repeatedly throughout the responses. Followers seem to appreciate that her content reflects everyday responsibilities, rather than a highly curated influencer lifestyle. The appeal isn't aspiration in the traditional sense, it's familiarity. There's also something notably low pressure about the way Kaybrie shares her life online. The post didn't feel designed around a big reveal or a carefully structured narrative. It felt spontaneous. Followers were simply invited along for a day. That approach creates a different kind of engagement. Instead of debating theories or speculating about future plans, people responded by sharing their own experiences, complimenting small details, and enjoying the atmosphere. In many ways, Katie and Kaybrie's recent updates couldn't have been more different. One centered around a major transition that has followers analyzing clues and imagining what comes next. The other revolved around an ordinary day that required no explanation at all. Yet both posts reveal something similar beneath the surface. Whether someone is driving hundreds of miles toward a new home or spending a Tuesday with old friends, viewers remain drawn to the moments that feel genuine. That's ultimately what connected both stories. Katie's post captured the uncertainty and excitement that comes with stepping into a new chapter. Kaybrie's captured the comfort of simply living in the current one. One looked toward the future, the other celebrated the present. And together, they offered two very different snapshots of where life currently stands for two members of the Bates family.